Climate consensus tourism is no longer optional. It is the foundation of competitiveness, resilience, and intergenerational equity. Distinguished guests, another crisis is not a matter of if, but when. The true measure of leadership is what we do before disruption strikes. Let us therefore move from reaction to anticipation, fragmentation to collaboration, and vulnerability to resilience by design. When governments, industry, academia, and communities act together, tourism becomes more than an industry. It becomes a force for stability, peace, and shared prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of tourism will belong to destinations and institutions that invest today in knowledge, preparedness, and transformation. At Kenyatta University, we remain committed to advancing research, shaping policy, and developing human capital that enables tourism to thrive in an uncertain world. May this conference inspire bold ideas, concrete partnerships, and actionable commitments. Together, let us ensure that tourism does not merely recover from crisis, but emerges stronger because of them. Thank you for your attention. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Professor. Let's appreciate him one more time with a clap. Asante sana. In the meantime, I have a special request before I invite our next speaker. And I would like our DJ, if you can hear me. That's the reason why we decided this tourism thing is not just about serious things. It's also about the fact that tourism in itself gives us a relaxing mode, all right? So DJ, did you listen to that song Sarah Cassie had? That particular song is what I want you to play as I invite our next guest. That Sarah Cassie song is what I want you to just prepare it. I'll buy you a minute or so. In the meantime, though, I'd like you to look at the person sitting next to you. And if they are of the same gender with you, I am so sorry. Because sometimes it's not easy to do this, all right? So I'd like you to do this. Just discuss who has the best phone. Look at each other's phone, that kind of thing. Because I want us to take a selfie, PS. I want us to take a selfie, that kind of a thing. Because this is tourism. And tourism is about showcasing that we're doing this. Hello. This is not a research conference. It's all about sometimes talking about tourism. Are we ready? Are you ready? Excellent. Now, get out your phone. If it's the type that doesn't have a good camera, just leave it. Tell your neighbor to do that. We want to do that. Don't worry about it. I'm going to help my PSs here because they're here and they're very set. I'm going to help them with the selfie. PS, don't worry. I think my phone is better. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. So can I have the power one? Can I have the power one with you? Excellent. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Because we're going to share this. We're going to share this together. There you go. 3, 2, 1, go. Don't worry even about that. It's done. It's done. Yeah, nimemshika kabisa. Let me just do one more. Yeah, the three of us, like that, right? 3, 2, 1, go. And the people at the back are smiling, so they're caught, right? Excellent. I'll be telling you why we need to shout about this. And we are here for the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day. DJ, do you have it now? Because my guest wants that particular song. So if you're there, play it now, release it now, so we can be able to do that. I'll be able to tell you what happens. There you go. My goodness, that's the one. Absolutely. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Professor Lloyd Waller, the Executive Director, Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center. Come on, give me the music, you wanted it. There you go. Well done. Come on. Now everybody stand for a moment. We're going to do this together. Hey. Come on, Professor, let's show them a move. Come here. Slowly. Well done. Dance like him. Come on. Just do it. Sweat. Yeah. Hey. Come on. A round of applause to Prof. Well done and Karibu Sana.
Mr. Masters of Ceremony, I too was a little concerned about the dancers pulling the persons in the front seat on the stage, especially the last set of dancers, because I was busy trying to contemplate how on earth they would lift me up to the top, because I'm not particularly a small guy. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I have the privilege and the opportunity to welcome you here today at the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Conference. And I'm taking this opportunity to outline what I would say would be the 7 moments that got us here. And I'll start with the first one. As a matter of fact, this is what many persons would want to call an origin story. So I'll start with the first one. So first of all, a question. Who in here can tell me what does Apple, GitHub, Wordy Park, and Vita Coca, which is the coconut, the very popular coconut drink, these are 4 Fortune 500 companies. Who in here can tell me what they have in common with the GTR CMC? If you can tell me, I can promise you get a free flight to Jamaica, stay for a week, and a free flight back to Kenya. Who can tell me? Please. Sorry, the dancing was a little bit hectic. Can you know what? Just put up your hand, just make a guess. They were all started in a bar. GTR CMC was actually started in a bar, and I don't even think Minister Bartlett remembers this situation. I was at a bar, minding my own business, when my principal came to me and said to me that the Minister of Tourism, who was also at the bar, minding his own business, is interested in an advisor. And I quickly took on the opportunity. The second moment was a conference that was held in 2017 on jobs, and the outcome of the conference was what was called the Montego Bay Declaration. Now, out of the declaration was a recommendation for a specific center or institution or space that can facilitate conversations about resilience and tourism resilience. You see, resilience was an emerging conversation on the global scene. However, nobody was talking about it within the context of tourism, and so there was a kind of gap that needed to be filled. The third moment was actually the formation of the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, which was established 6 months after the call for a center. And you can go on the website, it will outline everything that is on the website. The fourth moment was the first conference 4 years ago. Phenomenal. We had persons from all over the world, but unfortunately, out of the conference, we realized something that was very sad. Not many persons understood what tourism resilience was. Many persons could understand how to do tourism resilience. It was a foreign concept at the time. So, Minister Bartlett and myself decided to take on what can only be referred to as a pilgrimage to learn more about tourism resilience and to research about tourism resilience. And that has been a whirlwind, Minister, to be quite frank. We've traveled all over the world, meeting a number of world leaders, and we were able to make some very substantive, I'm so sorry, I danced on the stage and did some calorie work, but anyway. And, it was a real honor to walk with Minister and learn about it. The next moment essentially came with the expansion of the centers. We realized that we were Jamaica, we needed to have a global conversation about the GTR CMC, so we started with the establishment of the centers. The first center was here. The most successful center is here. I'd like to just please applaud, and I'm going to kindly ask Esther. Where is Esther? Esther, please come here. Dr. Karaoke. I pronounced the name properly, didn't I? Please come here. Esther, don't let this statue fool you. Esther has been a rock here for the GTR CMC. She has transformed it to heights that we never thought was possible, to be quite frank. And the humility, the desire to learn and to network was built into Esther. And Dr. Kuguri has, well, big feet to follow, but it has already started. And it's evidenced by where we are right here now. It has already started with this particular event. So thank you, and thank you very much, colleagues. The seventh moment was this day, the establishment of the Global Tourism Resilience Day. I never knew I would ever participate in a project that would allow for me to say that Global Tourism Resilience Day was something that I participated in. It was led by Minister Bartlett with the support of the Prime Minister, the team from the Ministry of Tourism. I'm going to kindly ask Mr. Dobson, Fiona, who worked on it, please stand. Christina, who had to do the back end, please stand. And it was also supported by the team, by the GTR CMC. Damien, Jackie, please stand. And it was supervised with someone who I have had the pleasure to work with, and it has been a whirlwind. Minister Bartlett, please stand. I don't want to take the opportunity to talk about Minister because it would take all evening. Passion is the word that I could use to describe him. And I've learned a lot in terms of passion in this regard. So that has been the journey. And today, Minister, we are here. We are here in Kenya after 4 years. I mean, I could never imagine that we're here today, but it just goes to show hard work, dedication, passion, ingenuity, imagination, innovation, all contributed to where we are right now. And speaking of innovation, going forward, we are in the process of developing several applications to help the tourism space with Gen AI. We're experimenting with Gen AI. That will be the next level of GTR CMC. We've already engaged a number of engineers to develop apps to support the sector. So I'm particularly excited about that. But thank you very much, everyone, for having me. Minister, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Today is going to be a wonderful day. Thank you for getting me here today. Thank you very much, everyone.
One more time. Let's appreciate Prof one more time. Beautiful one. Asante Sana. Thank you so much. And I think, Prof, that dance has done you good, right? Excellent, excellent. Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But anyway, when you're in Jamaica, a dance is a must, right? Excellent. Asante Sana. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to segue to our other remarks. And in the house as well, we have the one and only, our PS, who is in the house and is going to be coming. And as well also acknowledge some of his colleagues who are here, quite a number of them. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Honorable John Ololtua, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Tourism, Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. The Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife in the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rebecca Miano, Honorable Ministers from the following countries. Let me begin with the Honorable Minister for Jamaica, Honorable Edmund Bartlett, the Honorable Minister of South Sudan, Honorable Denai Jok Chago, the Honorable Minister, Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Kwete Lobo, the Secretary of State in the Ministry of Tourism from Angola, Honorable Augusto Laurindo, my brother, Professor Wala, who has played a critical role in this process, honorable international delegates from various countries across the region. We have delegates from Jamaica, and I think when I mention the country, let's just, the Kenyan way, we shout with joy in the Kenyan way. So let me begin with Jamaica. Jamaica, Saudi Arabia, Zambia, Ghana, United Arab Emirates, Rwanda, Somalia, Angola, Uganda, Kenya. Dr. Esther, you need to tell me whether there is any country I have not mentioned. I am very sure. And in case there is any country I have not mentioned, let us just give a round of applause for any other country, if there is any, that I have not mentioned. My PS colleagues who are present here today, we have Dr. Boniface Makoa, who is the PS Economic Planning, and we have Professor Shaukat Abdul Rasak, who is the PS Science, Research and Innovation. Our Vice Chancellor, Kenyatta University, Professor John Okumu, the Kenya Tourism Federation members who are present here. There are very many. I cannot mention you by name. All our CEOs, chairpersons, members of boards, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife officials in its entirety, the County Commissioner Nairobi North, Bwana Simon Osumba, who is just with us here, together with the security team who are represented here. All distinguished delegates, both international and local, and all protocols observed. Good morning. How are you? Thank you very much. Before I make one or two remarks, and thereafter invite the Honorable Minister from Jamaica, I would like to give my two colleagues just to come and say their names and a word. I will start with Dr. Makoha, just to come forward and say something, and then followed by Professor Shaukat. Then from there, I'll make one or two remarks as we move on with the program. Welcome, Bwana PS.
Thank you, the CS, my colleague PSS, I want to ride on the protocol already observed and established. Allow me to start off by quickly appreciating all of you and just letting you know that I'm the PS for Economic Planning. And Madam CS, allow me also to appreciate one very special, important person before I make a few remarks, maybe 2 or 3 points. I have in the house my teacher who made me into what I am today, Professor Okumu. Please, let's appreciate Professor Okumu. He trained me at Kenyatta University in the physics department. He also gave me a departmental scholarship for the 2 years I was there. So I would be doing myself injustice if I don't mention him. So quickly, economic planning. I know we are looking at the resilience, but I want to say that economic planning serves as the strategic framework for building a resilient economy by shifting from reactive disaster response to proactive, risk-informed development. Yes, I want to appreciate that tourism sector, from the economic planning point of view, plays a very significant role in our economy by creating a demand for services that enhance comfort, convenience, and overall visitor experience. I also want to mention that the inbound tourism, according to the KNBS statistics that we have, contributes to around 1.6% of our GDP. These are attributed to hotels and restaurants. However, as a department, in collaboration with my colleague PS Tourism, as it is international best practices, we want to establish a tourism satellite account. This will help to measure the true value of our tourism contribution to GDP. But quickly, what we have is that the projection we're projecting is that tourism will contribute around 1.2 trillion to GDP, around 7% if we are able to do that. And what we have noted as a department is that tourism has contributed to employment. Around 1.7 jobs have been created. When you look at the foreign exchange, it is the leading source of foreign currency, essential for economic stability. It is also tourism has stimulated infrastructure. We have roads, we have airports, and medical facilities, courtesy of a lot of tourism activity. Finally, tourism from where we stand also contributes to revenue from parks, especially park fees, and eco-tourism support. With these remarks, just highlighting the importance of tourism to our economy from the economic point of view, allow me to welcome the visitors from all the countries that I've mentioned. Feel at home and ensure that you enjoy the hospitality of Kenya without missing nyama choma. Asante sana, Bwana PS, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Dr. again. Professor, the podium is yours also to say hi. Welcome.
Thank you very much. PS, let me take the opportunity to recognize the presence of our CS, Her Excellency Rebecca Miano, the ministers from various countries who are present here, my colleagues, the principal secretaries, the leaders in this industry. I would like to stand also on the established protocols. I'll be very brief. I look at the matters of science, research, and innovation in this country. And I think this theme is very important. When we look at the matters of resilience, it is not an issue of being reactive. We have to ensure that we are very proactive. In addition to what my colleague, PS Planning, has alluded to earlier, in terms of how we have contributed to economic, the GDP, infrastructure, and so on and so forth, we have to ensure that we can be able to have evidence-based planning. And I'm glad that universities in Kenya, research institutions, are in that trajectory to ensure that we can have a sort of a knowledge-based economy that will also be able to contribute into this space. The other thing that I want to share and encourage us to take along with us is the digital innovation. We are in the world of artificial intelligence, the big data, and the digital platform as well. So really we want to ensure that we can fully embrace build synergies, collaboration, and break the silos. The other two more important things that I want to share with you is the issue of the climate resilience and sustainability. We have to ensure that we are having mitigation and adaptation of climate change. And this is all in the heart of tourism and resilience in that case. And of course, in so doing, we need to continue building capacity and capability, training and bringing the academia, the government, the research institutions, and also the private sector. Last but not least, resilient is inclusive. So we have to ensure we carry along women, the youth, and of course the local communities. And my last information, Minister CS, that I want to share is we are in the process of setting up innovation and incubation hubs in different parts of this country so that we can take full advantage of the diversity that we have and enhance this tourism sector and making sure that we have the resilience that we are looking for. Asanteni sana, and I wish you all a very fruitful deliberations, and for our visitors, welcome to Kenya and sample the best that we have. Asante sana.
A round of applause for Professor. As I indicated earlier, I will take the shortest time possible, but let me also recognize 3 key people, and I will, as I mentioned, they just stand because they play a very critical role. Madam Lydia Legami. This madam here is the Combined Tourist Police Unit. All our tourists really enjoy the security under our coordination. Thank you so much, madam, for the good work that you are doing. The Deputy GSO Commandant, Mr. Kamau, where are you? Thank you very much for the good work that you are doing. And we also have the Deputy Police Commandant, Nairobi, Mr. Arero. Where are you? So, thank you very much. As I indicated, mine is just to do some welcome remarks. My Honorable Minister will be able to deliver all the key areas that we wanted to look at. So first and foremost, let me also take this opportunity to welcome all our delegates to Kenya. And I'm sure since yesterday when you arrived, when we had the opening dinner, and a few other areas that you may have visited, I'm sure you are already enjoying the warmth and hospitality of the Kenyan people. So let me welcome you so much. Feel at home, feel good, even as we discuss about resilience. Secondly, this important 4th Global Tourism Resilience Conference Day and Expo has come at the right time. And I think, Honorable Minister from Jamaica, I am personally very happy with the process that began and continued up to where it is today. And Kenyatta University has played a critical role, as you have mentioned. And I'm sure, therefore, as we delve into the discussions, which begin today after the official opening, and as we continue tomorrow and the day after tomorrow before the closing, we will have discussed more on tourism resilience. I therefore want to invite every participant to be able to contribute their best as we discuss this important theme that is very, very relevant, not just in this country, but across the region. So I don't want to say more than that. I just want to say we are indeed very happy, very honored to have all of you. And we will move together as one. I'm sure we will transform the world into a world that is very resilient in everything that we do. With those very many remarks, you know I'm a teacher by profession, so that's why I said I will summarize, but I found myself adding more. So with those very remarks, where is this master of ceremony? Yeah, there should be some nice song. I don't know how the song looks like, because I'm inviting a very, very person here. Can I hear the song a bit as I invite the Honorable Minister of the
nimble as the professor. And so I was really looking for another song. No doubt it will come at the end. And then you'll see how nimble my feet are. What a wonderful moment it is for us, and particularly for us coming from the Caribbean. And I want to begin my opening remarks by saying how particularly proud we are as the diaspora to return home and to be able to experience what is for us a reverse diaspora. Because we in the Caribbean have been the product of Africa, and we have gained much from being in the Caribbean, but it is time now for us to give back to Africa, and I feel that sense. And a wonderful occasion it is for us too in terms of the warm hospitality and the spirit of fraternity and familial relation that we feel here in Kenya in particular, and certainly in Africa overall. Jamaica has a particular affinity to Kenya, as is known. And we feel a sense of oneness, not just from our kindred spirit and our phenotype, but certainly from political arrangements too, as it was Jamaica's partnership with the great hero, Jomo Kenyatta, that enabled the liberation process that decolonized this wonderful land from the British. Dudley Thompson, a Jamaican attorney, was in fact Jomo Kenyatta's attorney and carried him through the difficult period. And that spirit of oneness and bond has maintained itself throughout the years. And it was to our joy that then President Kenyatta visited Jamaica recently. And it is out of that engagement too that today's event, in fact, has materialized. So I want to begin by greeting my sister, Minister, in your context, Secretary of Cabinet, in our context, Minister, the Honorable Rebecca Miano, who has become the symbol of resilience and become also the crucible through which this critical element of tourism is being transmitted in the eastern side of Africa in particular, and the Indian Ocean area in general. My distinguished minister colleagues who are here with us from the countries within the African continent, our Principal Secretary, the Honorable John Olotua, our Acting Vice Chancellor of the University, and our distinguished presenters and speakers who have come from all over the world to share in today's engagement and, in fact, to celebrate with us on February 17th, the 4th renewal of Global Tourism Resilience Day. So it is a profound honor for me to join you here in Nairobi, in the heart of the magnificent Republic of Kenya, as we commemorate the Global Tourism Resilience Day 2026. We extend our deepest appreciation to the government and people of Kenya for their warm hospitality and for hosting us in a nation whose tourism product is both iconic and inspirational. From the sweeping savannas of the Masai Mara and the breathtaking wildlife that defines Kenya's world-renowned safari experience, to the pristine beaches of the Indian Ocean coastlines, the vibrant cultural heritage of its communities, and the dynamism of Nairobi as a leading conference and innovation hub in Africa. Kenya exemplifies the power of tourism to drive economic transformation, community empowerment, and sustainable development. I thank the Cabinet Secretary for her leadership and for the example she's setting as an example of modern tourism governance that is strategic, evidence-driven, and rooted in partnership. I also salute Kenyatta University for anchoring knowledge at the center of resilience, because resilience without research becomes guesswork, and guesswork is expensive in a crisis. It is therefore fitting that we gather in this remarkable destination to advance our shared commitment to building a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable global tourism architecture. We gather here today in a time of crisis, a time when disruption is no longer occasional, but constant, when risk is no longer distant, but daily. We gather at a moment shaped by multiple overlapping crises. One, a climate crisis, bringing stronger storm floods, droughts, wildfires, and rising heat that strains infrastructure and shorten recovery cycles. Two, a health security crisis where new outbreaks and public health shocks can still halt mobility and disrupt confidence. Three, a geopolitical crisis where conflict and tension can redirect travel flows overnight, in fact, and raise costs across tourism value chain. And fourth, an economic crisis marked by inflation, high debt, rising energy costs, and supply chain volatility that pressures businesses and households alike. Fifth, a security crisis where instability and safety concerns can weaken visitor confidence and disrupt communities. And sixth, an accelerated digital crisis where cyber threats can shut down systems, expose data, interrupt payments and travel operations, and where misinformation and disinformation can damage a destination's reputation in hours, undermining trust with a single false narrative. And yet, this is precisely why we're here. We're here because crisis must not be our destiny. We are here because tourism must not merely survive disruptions. Tourism must redesign and restand it. We are here to transform tourism from vulnerable to resilient, from reactive to ready, from recovery to renewal. And we meet here under a theme that declares our intention with clarity, from crisis to transformation. Tourism is not just an industry, ladies and gentlemen. Tourism is a lifeline. Tourism is jobs, direct and indirect. Tourism is enterprise, small businesses, community tours, transportation, food, culture, and craft. Tourism is foreign exchange that strengthens public services, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and community development. But tourism is also uniquely exposed because tourism depends on confidence. When confidence falls, arrivals fall. When arrivals fall, jobs fall. When jobs fall, families feel it immediately. And that is why the world needs a Tourism Resilience Day. We need a day that keeps relevance and keeps resilience at the agenda, the heart of it all, even when new cycles move on. A day that forces us to plan before we panic. A day that insists that preparedness is not a luxury, it is a responsibility. Tourism Resilience Day exists Because resilience is not seasonal. Resilience is not optional. Resilience is not a paragraph in a policy paper. Resilience is a discipline, lived, practiced, tested, and renewed. So this day did not appear by accident. It was built step by step, crisis by crisis, lesson by lesson. It began with a recognition that tourism needed more than promotion. It needed protection. More than recovery plans, it needed resilience and architecture. More than hope, it needed systems. We listened to destinations that were battered by storms, and Jamaica just had that experience less than 4 months ago. We listened to communities whose income disappeared when arrivals closed. We listened to operators who were brilliant at service, but vulnerable to shocks they did not cause and could not control. And we made a decision. We will not accept crisis as a destiny. We began building a global platform, one that could convene nations, translate experiences into evidence, and turn resilience into the new standard for tourism governance and practice. And we didn't do it alone. The Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center has become a collective global think tank, a living network of centers, universities, experts, private sector partners, multilateral allies, and governments working together to shape a new global tourism reality, one where resilience is not an afterthought, but a foundation. From that journey came a milestone, Tourism Resilience Day. And I'm so proud to have led that path myself at the UN at its annual special session in February of 2023, when 94 countries acceded to the resolution that I moved and voted while I spoke in favor of the day. So, this day matters because it creates a global rhythm, a drumbeat that calls tourism to readiness. On this day, governments align policy and preparedness. The private sector strengthens continuity and crisis response. Communities deepen safety nets and local linkages. Universities drive research, training, and innovation. Young people see tourism not only as employment, but as a future, skilled, modern, and resilient. This day is not about ceremony. It is about capability. It is about standards. It is about systems. And it also strengthens South-to-South cooperation, because the Global South cannot afford to confront global risk in isolation. Africa and the Caribbean, Latin America and Asia, the Pacific and the Indian Ocean, our regions are exposed to climate shocks, economic volatility, external market shifts, and digital vulnerabilities. But we also share strengths, ingenuity under pressure, strong communities, and a history of rebuilding. Tourism Resilience Day becomes a bridge where we exchange tools, share strategies, build training pipelines, and spread solutions faster than threats can spread. The impact of tourism resilience and the emerging threats that we must face. What does resilience really produce when it is real? Resilience produces continuity. so businesses do not collapse at the first disruption. Resilience produces faster recovery, so jobs return sooner and communities stabilize quicker. Resilience produces faster recovery. Resilience produces confidence, so travelers keep choosing destination even in uncertain times. But to move from crisis to transformation, we must name the threats that now define the next decade. And what are they? Yes, climate. Yes, health security. Yes, geopolitics. Yes, economic shocks. And yes, public safety. But today we must also confront the digital battlefield, because two threats are now shaping tourism outcomes more than many people realize. Misinformation is not merely noise. And indeed, those two threats are misinformation and disinformation. And I may want to add a third, fake news. So misinformation is not merely noise. It is economic damage. A false story can empty hotels. A distorted clip can trigger cancellations. A fabricated advisory can punish a destination that is safe and ready. Disinformation is worst because it is intentional. It weaponizes fear. It manipulates perception, and it attacks confidence, the very energy that tourism needs to breathe. Cyber threats are not abstract. A ransomware attack can shut down reservation payments, airports, and hotel operations. A data breach can expose visitors and citizens, erode trust, and trigger costly consequences. An outrage can interrupt movements, logistics, and safety. The modern traveler demands convenience, but convenience without cyber safety becomes vulnerability. That is why resilience today means defending not only the destination infrastructure, but the destination's information space. Not only the tourism product, but the tourism reputation. Not only the physical journey, but the digital journey. And this is where the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center and its global partners have transformed tourism. By mainstreaming resilience, by building capacity, by convening knowledge, and by transferring learning across borders, so that one destination's hard lesson becomes another destination's early warning. And as we speak of the future demands that we move from resilience as a reaction to resilience as a design, because transformation is not accidental, it is engineered. And if resilience is to be engineered, two forces must lead it: research and convening. And this is what Kenya is doing, and is doing so well. And that's why we're so proud of you. So looking ahead, we must expand thought leadership. We must have more conferences. We must write more books. We must create more toolkits, and indeed, more training. We must deepen engagement with destination and governments, so resilience becomes embedded in policy, investment, and operations. We must strengthen cyber readiness and data protection across the value chain. And we must build stronger systems for truth and trust, so misinformation can be confronted quickly with credible information. We will also embrace technology so resilience becomes personal and accessible. Apps and AI-powered tools with guidance, alerts, and training at our fingertips. trusted updates channels during crises, decision support tools that help operations know what to do, when to do it, and how to recover. Indeed, the future will not reward those who only have impressive and impulsive responses. The future will reward those who are prepared for storms and prepared for digital attacks and prepared for reputational shocks. In closing, I want to indicate that we at the Global Tourism Resilience Center in Kingston, Jamaica, have gone beyond the mere discussion of these threats that I've indicated. We have sought to codify two, and tomorrow we will launch a book on the issue of destination reputational disruptions and the imperative of building resilience in that context. We hope that the deliberations over the next 2 days will strengthen our understanding of the 5 critical touch points of resilience: the ability to forecast it, to mitigate against it when it comes, to manage it as it will in fact come, and then to recover quickly, and finally, to thrive. God bless you, and thanks.
Wow, wow, wow. What a very inspiring message. A round of applause for Honorable Minister. A round of applause. With those, can we produce the normal sound ile ya kuchia kabisa? Hello? Who knows how to do it? Yeah? Hello. Yeah? 1, 2, 3. Wow. We are almost now reaching at the climax. And the MC, I'm sure you're preparing a song that will be ushering in the chief guest.
Yes.
We have our cabinet secretary, Honorable Rebecca Miano, who is our chief guest today, representing the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki. So as we usher her in, the minister who is coming in on behalf of His Excellency the Deputy President, I would like that we be upstanding as we sing that song. I don't know what the song is. Can it go on? Can it go on?
Yes. Starting right away. Wanna PS. DJ, over to you. Release it now. Let us just have that moment. In the meantime, why don't you stretch and tell the person sitting next to you, what did you get? You know, as I check whether the PS fit. Are you ready, Buana PS, for this thing? Eh?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm also ready as well. DJ, do you have it? Play it now. Release it now. Because we're more than ready to bring in our chief guest in the house. Come on, DJ, play it now. Do not worry, the DJ had gone on strike. You know why? He was saying he needs to be taken to a destination in Kenya. I know he will go. So don't worry, your request has been made. So if you don't mind, 3, 2, go, DJ. Come on, release it. Give it now. He's counting me down. 3, 2, 1, go. By the way, Buana PS, one more thing. I don't know whether you know how to pronounce words in the Jamaican style. Can I teach you one? Yes. I'm going to teach you here. Just watch me. The word is situation, all right? Please pronounce that word for him in the Jamaican way. Situation. Yes. Situation. There's a way that you do that, all right?
Situation.
So just for clarity, so the Jamaican dialect is a combination.
There you go. You understand? Now we're ready for this one up here. Excellent. Come on, DJ, give us that. Okay, so everybody just move your feet a bit as the CS is coming up. Please come in style one CS. Excellent. A round of applause to her as she does come off with the finale. And you can give her a dance. Well done. CS, do you want to show us? There you go. Just follow. Man, one step. There is it. Everybody go. Everybody go. Go to PS. Come on. You're doing well. You ready? You ready? Let's go down. Come on, I appreciate it. Here's a round of applause. Thank you so much. And thank you, DJ.
Can have our seats.
Thank you.
Before I say much, I would like to welcome my colleagues to just come up here and say hi from DRC, Kwete. My colleague ministers, just to say bonjour. Bonjour. Enchanté.
Je tenais à dire bonjour au ministre ici représenté et bonjour à notre pays frère, le Kenya. La RDC notre pays,
DRC, our country,
vous remercie sincèrement
is appreciating for this ceremony
pour assister dans ces assises de conférence de Global Résilience,
for being a member and participant of this Global Resilience Conference,
qui est d'office le catalyseur de développement
which is charged with catalyzing the development of
tous les
tourism
pays africains.
in all the countries in Africa.
Alors voilà le mot le plus essentiel que je tenais à m'adresser à cette assemblée.
And therefore, that's the reason as to why he is here to address this assembly.
Merci.
Thank you so much.
Merci. Honorable Denny Jok, the minister from South Sudan.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. Excellency, Honorable Rebecca Miano, thanks for the invitation that you have granted to your close friends in South Sudan. The people of South Sudan greet all of you. And I'm sure every one of you might have a friend from South Sudan. I'm very delighted personally to be here to participate in this wonderful conference. And personally, I think that human connection starts with tourism. Any business, any investors that you are interacting with here in Kenya once came to Kenya as a tourist. You should know that. And you too, going to another country to invest or to explore, you would once go to that country as a visitor. And in your passport, you would have a tourist visa stamps on it. That means human connections starts with tourism. And so in this case, we should also have the tourism sector as the pioneer of our global development. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And finally, Honorable Augusto from Angola. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Honorable Minister. It's a pleasure for Angola to be here, to learn with Kenya, to learn with all the participants on this conference, because we understand that tourism is connections, and these connections should be not only with peoples, but with countries. And we, in Africa, we face the same problems, so we should address together these problems. So thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have delegations from very many countries, as you have heard from the protocols that were set. And I want to thank you very much, my brother, the Minister of Tourism from Jamaica, Edmond, who is our tourism encyclopedia in terms of tourism, resilience, and crisis management. And to be honest, he's one of the longest serving tourism ministers I have ever met, having served 14 years as a minister for tourism. I have personally served 1 year and 6 months, so you can imagine how much more experience.